Okay, I'm going to show you how to do wheel spacers on your Metro. It is simple. Take the tire off. And this is an 1.5-inch wheel spacer. You can just buy them off eBay. Very simple to install. It is just like installing a tire. These brakes are a couple weeks old, so they're starting to get a little rust on them. New rotors, but it doesn't really matter because you're just going to put it down like a rim. So you just kind of wipe everything off. You just don't want any chunks if you live in a rusty area. Just make sure the rotor surface is smooth. And I just take a rag and wipe these off. They're 4.5-inch by 4.5-inch spacers because we're not changing rim sizes. This is a 1.5 inch thick. So 4.5 inches is 114.3 millimeters. And we just put that on there, and then I'm just going to use the stock lug nut. And you just want to make sure that your stock Acorn lug nut fits down below flush on the surface when it's tight. So you'll notice this one's not. And we're going to run it down, and it should be. And you don't want to run them all down tight. Since it's an Acorn, the hub is, yeah, see how we're in there probably about 1/4 inch, 7 millimeters or so. Don't run them down tight. Leave them just a smidge loose because you want them to center up really nice before you tighten them. Now, treat this like an aluminum wheel. I know steel rim, you could just run them down with an impact gun and stuff, but on a aluminum wheel, you would torque them. So I torque I think we're torquing them to 45 pounds. I'll have to double check. I think that's what we're doing on aluminum wheels. I do so few aluminum wheels because most aluminum wheels actually weigh more than steel rims, and we're always chasing gas mileage. I think it's like 40 or 45. You can Google it. It'll pop right up. The real trick is not really the torque number. It's actually just having them torqued evenly. So as the aluminum heats and shrinks from the brakes coming on, it doesn't leave one of the studs loose or lug nuts loose. So I've went around, I've just tightened those up by hand now. Just for fun, I'm going to use my impact gun. And you got to make sure you got a socket that'll fit in that hole. Like I said, use a torque wrench when you do this. I just want to show it for the video. It takes too long to torque it. That's the stud installed just like a rim. There's no magic here. And then the steel wheel back on. Line it like that. And then one thing to keep in mind is the lug nuts that come with them. The car takes 10.125 pitch, 10 millimeter by 1.25 on an early. A late model is 12 and 1.25 pitch. The aftermarket companies, for some reason, use well, I know why. They use a more coarse thread, and it's I guess it'd probably be like 12.1. I guess it'd be 1.0 because it would be coarser. My point is you can't use these lug nuts on the car, or they'll bind up on the studs. So don't try and they'll run down with your finger. And again, you're just going to run these down by hand because we want the Acorn to center in the rim. I think we're still using 19s on this particular setup. There we go. I didn't even check, but I believe these are still 19 millimeters, and they are. And besides, I can jack my car up easier than the average person on this hoist. This is not a bad way to go. This car, It's a good time to check the wheel bearing and make sure it's tight. This one actually feels like it's got a bad, check that tie rod back here. It's got a bad inner tie rod. It's a good time to change that. And you're also going to, with these, you're going to get away from having the eccentric hub that sticks out. It'll make your late model rim stick on the hub. If you've ever had, I know a lot of you, in fact I just got an email this week from somebody that was trying to, you take the lug nuts off your car and the wheel won't come off. And you got to kick the crap out of the side of the tire to make it fall off on the side of the freeway. And when you're changing a flat, it's a pain in the butt. This gets rid of it because it's completely smooth on the new hub. So it makes it a lot nicer to change a tire. Also, if you're having that problem with your rim, if you take it to a muffler shop and have them use their expander and just bump the center of the rim just a smidge, that'll fix it. Or you can smear some anti-seize on it, which will help it. But the muffler shop trick is really nice, but you got to take your rims off your car and take them to your muffler shop, so that's a giant inconvenience. We're going to take a side shot. You know, this is the wrong car to do this because this fender's still damaged. I haven't painted this car yet, so it does not, you know what, I want to give you a shot how far this tire sticks out. And the fender should probably come out to, oh God, probably as much as an inch over here. You know, this should be pulled out. Yeah. Why don't we just fix that over on camera? Since the fender's already damaged, it's going to be replaced. It's easy to tell if you have a damaged fender and you're pulling it back out when the pins will line back up on the plastic shroud. The plastic, you can't dent it, so it'll line up and tell you you're out to the right spot. That's got to be pretty close. At any rate, I'm going to lower the car down so you can kind of get a visual on what we did. We went from about, well, you'll see it in a second, but the tire was inside or really close to flush with the edge of the fender. And I'm just going to take a peek at the camera here and make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing, and I think you are. And I hope the audio is good. I left the case on the camera because my case is one of those battery backups. And, seems like I'm always running around with a dead phone. These tires are also 2 inches wider than stock. So if you're using stock fenders, you're going to be in about an inch closer. So you might want to go with 2-inch wheel spacers versus the 1.5" that I went with. I like the 1.5" because they, well, honestly, they're half the price of the 2-inch. I don't understand why the price jumps up on them. I think, does that do justice on what we're seeing here? I think it does. We're going to jump around to the other side because I can put the camera inside the car's body and give you a better shot of what we're seeing. And you can see that you're just like right out there on the edge as we come around here. Now that's an angle shot, so it gets a little aggressive. But this makes the car 3 inches wider. And since a Geo Metro has the same wheelbase as a Geo Tracker, when you get some good tires on it, even if you're just using snow tires, some studded tires without the studs in it, and you put some wheel spacers on it, your Tracker or your Geo will start to drive like a tracker with just a few horsepower less, and the same as a Samurai, and even lighter than a Samurai, and minus the 4-wheel drive. If you like to tow and screw around and stuff, you are exactly in there with basically whatever a Samurai will do with battery's telling me it's low here. It will do exactly what a Samurai will do minus the 4-wheel drive. So this is a great way to make your car a little more aggressive and not kill any gas mileage. Plus it makes it handle nicer when you drop into the ruts on the freeway. This moves you out just a little bit farther. And I totally recommend it. And I think these spacers cost, I think they're $75 or something. You find them on eBay and Amazon. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope it improves your Suzuki or Metro.